So hello and what's up everybody, welcome back to Screen Technicals. Today in this video we are going to create our sign up system. In the previous video we have seen how we can create, you can say, this home design, right? This way. So in the previous video we have seen that how we can create this home design, right? So now let's go back to the VS Code, and after this contact, right, I'm just reading this. I'm changing this to sign up, just like this. Make this capital, right? Save this. Now at this point I'm going to create, you can say, another HTML file and naming it as signup.html. Hit enter. So this will contain, you can say, obviously the navigation part and all other CSS. So I'm going to extend my base .html at this point. Save this. Now go to the views.py, and here I'm going to create, you can say, a function, and I'm writing here, let's say, sign up, right? It accepts request and it returns render, right? So basically I'm just, you can say, making my template or rendering my template, right, in my views.py. So it accepts the request and let's say the path of our signup.html, right, file. So I'm going to write here it is home slash signup, right, .html. Save this. Now just go to the us.py, replicate this, change this to sign up, and I'm going to change this to sign up and this to even sign up. Save this thing. Now go to the base.html, and at this point right here, sign up slash, just like this. Save this. Go to the browser, refresh it, and you're going to see this thing. Now if you click on this, you can see this page, right? Now we are going to create our signup.html, right? So basically the, you can see, the layout of our sign up page, right? So I'm going to create a block, right? It will contain the title and it will be sign up, right? Then after that I'm going to create the body block, right? So we're adding here block body, and inside this I'm going to create, you can say, a section. Okay, section. Okay, is section, right? And giving it an ID of let's say it is sign up, just like this. And inside this I am having my, you can say, my h1 tag. So right here h1, just right here sign up, right? If you want you can skip this because you can just copy it from my source code. This is pretty much the simple CSS, not CSS, HTML, right? Now I'm going to create, you can say, a div with a class of form_box, right, just like this. And inside this I'm going to have my, you can say, form, you can say, the form tag. So I'm going to write here form. Okay, is form. The action will be for right now slash sign up slash, and the method that we are going to use here is the post request, right? And then I'm going to add the CSRF token, right? So these are the basics, right? As I already told you, if you have not watched my Django in one video tutorial, then you can watch that to clear your basics, right? Because at that in that video I have covered all these things, the simple form tags, you can, the CSRF token, right? So these are purely basics, right? So just let's continue. So I'm going to create another div tag at this point, and inside this I'm going to have my level, right? And the first will be f_name, right? And here I'm going to write here the first name, just like this. And then I will have my input tag. So right here input, and it will be obviously text. It will have an ID of f_name, right? Give it a you can say name equals to it will be f underscore name, and it will be a required field, right? So you can see this. Now just go to the browser, refresh it, go to the, you can say, the signup.html file, and you can see this thing, right? So this is the first name, right? Make this f as capital, right? Now just copy this div, paste it, okay, not like this, hit enter, and just change this to f name to l name, right? And this to last, right? And this f to l, and this f also to l, right? Now after that we are going to have our email, so it will be email, just remove this right here, email, and then this will be, and this will be email, just like this, right? And save this much of thing, go to the browser, refresh it, and you can see these things, right? Now after that we are going to have our username, right? So copy this div, and after this I'm going to have my username, so I'm going to write here username, okay, copy this thing, paste at this point, and at this point, right? Make this as capital and this as text, right? Okay. Now after that we are going to have, you can say, our passwords. So copy this thing, and I want to duplicate that 1 2, right? So this is going to my pass, right here, pass1. This will be create password, just like this, okay? And then it will this one I'm just changing this to pass1, and this to also pass1, and just change this text to password, just like this, right? And I'll copy this thing, and I will paste it at this point, and change this one to 2, and this one to 2, and this one to 2, and I will just change this create to conform, just like this. Save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and you can see these things, right? Now at the last we are going to have our, you can say, our button, right? So after just this detect, paste this detect, and just remove these things, okay? Right here, I'm going to create a button, so I'm going to create, you can say, here button, and it will have the type of submit, right? So that we can submit our form, right? And I'm going to here simply submit, okay? And then I'm going to give a class to this div, that is let's say this btn dash submit dash form, just like this. Save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and you can see this thing, right? So ensure that you are writing, you can say, the exact, you can say, the class name, right? So that the CSS will work properly, right? Okay. Now after this I'm going to add, you can say, another div, right? And inside this I'm going to have an, you can say, p tag, right? And I'm going to write a simple text at this point, and let's say if you have an already created account, so it will be already have an account, just like this. And then I'm going to create an anchor tag. For right now it will be has, and here I'm going to write here login, simply, just like this, and save this thing. Now I go to the you can say this browser, refresh it, and I can see this thing. So we have created, you can say, the HTML part of our, you can say, sign up page. Now we are going to create the logic that is behind this signup.html, right? So go back to the VS Code, open up the views.py, right? Here I'm going to use, you can say, I'm going to fetch the data, right, of the input text, that is this data, this l name, this f name, right? So just go back to the views.py. I'm going to first check if request request dot method is equals to, if it is let's say it is post, right? If it is post, then I want to fetch the f underscore name. It will be equals to request dot post, and inside this I'm going to write here f underscore name, right? Replicate this, change this f to L and this to also L, right? And then I'm going to just change this to email and this to also email, right? Okay, and this one will be our username, so username, and this will be also username, right? And then we will have our, you can say, two passwords. One is pass1, another is this pass2, right? Change this to pass1 and this to pass1. Save this method. So basically I'm just fetching, you can say, if the request, that is the method, that is this one. What is that? This one is, if it is post, then I want to fetch all this data, right? After that I want to fetch, you can say, my user models. So at this point I want to write here from Django dot contrib dot auth dot models, okay, models, import user, right? Save this. Now at this point I'm going to write here that is user. I'm going to create the user equals to, it is user dot objects, okay, it is objects dot create, okay, it is create underscore user, right? It is create underscore user, and inside this I'm going to pass the username, right? The username, give a comma, the email, give a comma, the pass1, right? And then I'm going to set the f name and l name, right? So I'm going to write here user dot f underscore name equals to f underscore name. Replicate this, change this to L and this to even L, right? And then I'm going to save my user, right? User dot save, just like this. Save this method again, right? Now just go to the browser, right? Refresh it, and let's say I'm writing here let's say Jane Doe, email will be, let's say test1@gmail.com, right? And the username will be, let's say Jane Doe 123, and the password will be 1234, and this will be 1234. Now click on the submit, and you can see this operation error, no such table, this auth user, right? Because till right now we have not created the admin page, right? So just open up the terminal at this point, press Ctrl J to open up the terminal, right here cd tab. Okay, we are inside, obviously we are inside, you can say the pizza corner, right? We are inside the project, right? So I'm going to write here py manage.py create super user. So first we are going to create our super user. So the command is python manage.py create super user. Hit enter. Now it is, you can say, we are getting some of these errors because we have not migrated, you can say, the default models. So right here python manage.py make migrations, hit enter, and then and the command that is migrate, python manage.py migrate, right? Hit enter. Now this will migrate all the, you can say, the default tables, right? It will just create our database. So finally our database has been created, right? And now at this point I'm going to run the command, that is python manage.py create super user. So the username, let's say it is writing here admin, hit enter. Just skipping the email address for right now. Password is 12345, right? It will 12345. Hit enter and you can see this. Just you can see this telling that this password is too common, is entirely numeric. So I'm just writing here y and hitting enter. I will change the password later on, right? So I will tell you how to change the password, right? So now let's run the server again. Hit enter. Okay, we don't have to run the server again because our server is running already in our at this point, right? Now just open up the browser, refresh it. Right here Jane Doe email will test1 email.com, and then right here this will be Jane Doe 123, password will be 1234, this will be 1234, submit. And now if I go to the database, that is 127 this is, and right here is admin, right, slash admin. So the password at this point is 1234 and 5, right, and the username is admin. Login. Close this one, no thanks, right? So click on this users and you can see this Jane Doe at this point. So we have created successfully, you can say, our user, right? Now we are going to see how can we automatically make our user login after signing up, right? Now before that, let me tell you what I have done at this point. First, I have created the signup.html page, right? I have used a form at this point, and the method of the form is post, right? And the action goes to the signup.html. You can say the signup. You can say the signup function in our views.py, right? And when I click on the submit, it just calls up to the views.py, and here it checks that if the method is post, then it fetches all the data, right? All the input text, right? It fetches the data of the input text. Then I'm just creating the user, right? Setting up the first and last name and saving the user, right? And after that I have created, you can say, my tables, that is my in my database. So first, using the, you can say, command python manage.py migrate, I have created the database, and then I have, you can say, created the super user using the command python manage.py create super user, right? And after that I have just, you can say, filled that form, and at last I have you can say created successfully my super user, right? And after creating my super user in my, you can say in my browser, I can just go to my admin panel, just writing, you can say, this port, right, and then slash admin, right? So, and if you see in the users, right, as we have submitted this form, we have created one user, that is Jane Doe 123, that is, you can say, it's the username, and this is the email, right? Okay, and you can see the first name and the last name are not coming. So let's see. Okay, we have done one thing wrong. This is actually the first first underscore name, and this is last underscore name. Sorry. Okay, now go back to the browser and just delete this user. Okay, click on this go, and just, I'm sure I'm just deleting the user. Refresh the signup.html page, and at this point I'm creating the user again. Email will be this, username will be Django123, password will be 1234, this will be again 1234. Click on this submit. Now go to the user, this admin panel, refresh the page, and you're going to see this first name as Jane, last name as Doe. So everything is working fine at this point. Right now we're going to see how can we, you can say make our user automatically logged in after signing up, right? So go back to the VS Code, right, and after, you can see this user.say, I'm going to create another variable, that is user underscore, let's say, login equals to I'm going to authenticate the users. I'm going to write here auth dot authenticate, right, and it's going to authenticate the username, right, which will be equals to user name. give a comma, and the password will be equals to pass1, just like this. So in this way I'm going to, you can say, authenticate my user, and then I'm going to check if that user exists. If user underscore login, if this user underscore login exists, this means if it is not none, right? So if user underscore login is not none, this means I'm checking that if this user exists, right? So if this exists, then only I'm going to log in my user, right? Or else I'm not going to log in the user. So if the user underscore is not none, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to authenticate the user. So I'm going to write here auth dot login. Okay, it is login, right? Auth dot login, and it will accept the request and the user underscore login, right? Say this message. Okay, now you can see it is showing me this error. So we have to import the auth right here. Auth. Save this. Now go back to the browser, refresh this page, and you can see this. We are logged in. So how can we know that we are logged in? So we can do that, right? So one thing I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to print at this point right now, that is logged in. Simply save this. Okay, now let's create another you can say user. So I'm going to here ben10, email will be test2@gmail.com. this will be 1234. Okay, not the username, this will be ben10, and the password will be 1234. this will be 1234. Submit, and let's open up the terminal, and you can see this thing logged in, right? This means I have been successfully logged in, right? Now one thing I'm going to check at this point, this both the password, right, the pass1 and pass2 are equal or not, right? So I'm going to write here condition if pass1 is equal to pass2, then I'm going to do this thanks, right? Now I'm going to write here else pass, right? So in this else part we are going to show up, you can say, the message that the passwords are mismatched, they are not equal. So you can say give the correct password, the match the password, like that, right? So we'll see it in the next video, that how can we display the messages, and after that video we are going to see how can we create the login page. So thanks for watching this video guys, and I will see you next time in another video.